So let's get started. I am just going to take things out of here. Doesn't matter what it is. Decide what I'm going to do with it. If it's small enough to go into scraps, or if it's too big for scraps. If it's too big for scraps, then I will fold it to put on the side, not inside of the buckets. Let me show you a bucket. This is a bucket. I made these several years ago, and each one has a different color strip, ring, whatever this is, and that tells me what color fabric goes in there. Although, I guess after a little while, really, do you need to be told what that it needs to be that color? You can see. All right, so I have a couple of things right here. First of all, this was sewn to another piece, and it was supposed to be a pine tree, and I did not like it, so I cut the seam out, and this is what I have left with, and I'm just going to put that in the blue. I also have this. They're two, I don't know, long, I don't know what they're called, triangles, whatever, long triangles. And I sewed them together, and I think they're cute like they are. I am not going to separate that, but I'm going to put it in purple because to me, there's more purple here than any other color. And of course, we have yellow, and there's our purple. This is a pink. When it's this big, I do one of two things. I either fold it up and put it with the fat quarters, or I fold it up and I put it in the buckets, and I'm going to put that in the buckets because it's really not big enough. It'll kind of get lost with the fat quarters. So will this one. But if I don't fold it down a little bit, it just becomes a mess. And when you pull it out of the bucket, then everything wants to come with it. So, all right, I have this piece right here, and I usually cut off this kind of stuff so that, again, when I pull stuff out of the bucket, I will be able to pull just that and not half of what's in the bucket. There's another purple. I think I used quite a bit of purples toward the end of the houses quilt. How small will I keep things? Well, I will keep things this small sometimes. It just sort of depends. I can use that, although I may not want to at some point. I just decide it's enough. I like these strips, even though they're this narrow. Obviously, I tore it off of something else, but I use it to make those little skinnies that I put in my quilts. And yellow is a good color for skinnies. This one has orange and this yellow and blue, but I think the orange is more prominent, and that's kind of how I decide what goes where. Again, some more little skinnies right there. Blue. All right, here's another one. This is a long 2.5 inch strip. Nope, not 2.5 inches, because if you can see this right here, it's not even. So it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna cut it into whatever straight. I'm just gonna fold it up and put it in the yellows. And if I decide at some point that I'm gonna pull that out and use it, well, then I'll decide what I'm gonna do with it. I rarely cut anything. Ooh, this is a hard one. Let's see what else we have. This is gonna be a brown. So we have brown and we have black. And this is another black. I think this goes with that. So that's probably going to be brown. Yes, I know. Little bitty things, right? My sisters laugh at me when they see this. They're really going to have a grand time with this video. I don't think I can tell them that I made this video. I have 7 sisters. 7. 8 girls total and no boys. Everybody asks, how did your dad survive? Oh, my dad survived just fine. My mom spoiled him, and we listened. Okay, all of this goes, oh, you see, there's the other half. So let me show you. I don't know. There we go. It was together like this. And I just thought it was ugly. So I did not want to keep it that way. I didn't want to remind myself what I had done. All right, this is could be any color, right? It could go with the blue, the yellow, the pink. In this particular case, I think maybe there's more of the pink or the yellow, but I'm going to put it in pink because it's very girly, and pink is kind of a girly color. All right, so I'm going to take this off and toss that out, and then I'm going to, oops, cut this off. Usually that's how I do it, but I don't know why I grabbed the scissors. Okay. So does this go in green or a darker color like a black? I don't know. We're going to figure that out in a minute. And I'll put some greens with it and then go from there. So I just grab a bundle of just whatever I can grab, you know, just right off, and decide we're going to come back to this. Let's put these away. Blue. Oh, by the way, this fabric. I did not like this fabric. It's very heavy. Doesn't feel right. Sweet little cat. I had a whole yard of that and made my granddaughter a little dress. A brown, I think. Yellow. Some colors I don't have very much of because I don't use very much. I don't use a whole lot of orange. I'm trying to open this. I like to open things because if I put them down flat, I have this thing in my head that if I put them down flat, they'll stay flat. They don't really. Okay, this is going to get folded. It's a fat quarter, so it's going to go in the fat quarter area of my cubbies. So it's going to go into gray fat quarters, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to put it aside, fold it up, ready to go, and later on, when I'm putting things away, I'll sort through those fat quarters that are folded. I have some, thank goodness, that are already folded. I have a stack right here that, I don't know, I was good. I folded them up as I used them, or maybe I didn't use them. Maybe that's why. I'll put those pinks together. This could go maybe with, I don't think it'll go with the gray. All right, and so this is another thing. I sometimes, this has gotten too small. Sometimes I put a mini bolt, but I was doing that with fat quarters, and I just decided I didn't like that at all. So now when I have fat quarters or whatever, and I run across one, I used a lot of this fabric too, and I run across one, I fold it up to put everything in fat quarters, not on the shelves with the yardage. It just makes more sense now. I think all of these are blue. That would be good. Huh, guess a grandchild was here. Wonder, do you wonder? And a purple, there's a lot of that purple, huh? Okay, let's deal with this. First, I'm going to square this up right here. And then I'm going to cut this off. And I don't know why I'm doing it like this. I just don't like that stuff hanging off more than anything. Because I've pulled stuff out of, just see a fabric down in the bottom down there, and pull one piece out and the whole thing comes apart. Okay, another, this is a half yard. It could, if I wanted to, put it on a yardage bolt, but I am not. I'm moving more and more things to the cubbies because yardage, the yardage area is it's kind of full. Isn't that something? It's not a complaint. It's gratitude. That's what that is. All right. And how did I get that? A lot of people ask me, how do you have so much? Well, it's because I have been working at collecting it for a very long time. Okay, I wanted to show you this. This is something that came back with me from a class that I taught. And this is just one of the things that I made while I was teaching the class. I don't know where the other stuff is, but I will find it and it will go with this other stuff. Now there's something also that I wanted to tell you, and that is that I have a my husband would call it a jig, a pattern that is just the right size. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Just the right size for my cubbies. So when I fold things up, I kind of don't use it anymore, but I know that things have to fit into this. Let me do it over here just in case. I know that things to fit in the cubbies, they have to be able to. I need to see a little bit of the cardboard around it. So I've kind of gotten used to now of how I fold, and I may not fold quite exactly the same. They're not all exactly the same, but they're pretty close. Okay, I have some yardage here that I pulled out, and I don't think I used any of it at all. That quilt was getting wild with in color, and it was just too much. Even I was a little overwhelmed. So I'm trying to make this show so that I can see what I have here. Oh, that's not working at all. All right, let me start over. There we go. I could have folded it, rolled it on there the opposite direction. But of course, I like to have the cut part out on the side, so I keep cutting from one end. I don't know, I'm crazy about some kind of things like that. There we go. Now I can see it. And all of this needs to be put on the shelves with the yardage. And I'm done. So now, I made a mess right here, didn't I? So now I will just pick up everything, put it in the correct bins, and my work is done for today. Well, this work anyway is done for today. Thank you for coming. I'm very grateful that you are watching. I hope this helps you in figuring out what you want to do with your scraps and figure out how you can use them. And the next video will be how I use these really small little pieces. I'll use some of those and start putting them together so you can see how I put them together and what becomes of them. This is going to get straightened up, I can tell you now, because it's going to be difficult to sew this way. But for right now, they're going in their own little bins. And I will see you next time. We will be at the sewing machine. Thank you for coming.